So, Linda, you live in Australia, right?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
do.
All right. And you are also a client of Dr. Isabel Reese there in Australia.
Yes, yep, I
Okay.
am.
And I was talking, and in recent times, you know, Isabel has been working with you, but she has brought up the idea of our optimal EFT's unseen therapist used it in your behalf
Yep.
for great benefit. I have that right?
Yes, yes, I have. Yep.
Okay. All right, great. So what we want to do here is talk a little bit about what your issues may have been, what the
Mhm.
befores and afters are, so those listening in can get a good sense of this. Okay, so I've got an email here from Isabel, and let's take some of the emotional issues first. If I remember correctly, or if I read this correctly, um, uh, you had an almost perpetual anxiety that had fear and guilt and things like that pretty much dominated your thinking all the time. I got that right?
Yes, you have. Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about that a little bit to give a little more sense of that?
Okay. The guilt, I suppose, I had all the time. Whenever I did anything, I worried about what was going to happen, what would people think, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe I should do something else. There was all the shoulds in it. I was never comfortable with anything I was doing because I was worried about what it might cause back to me. The anxiety, it was just worried about what will people think, what if I get this wrong, what if I'm 2 minutes late somewhere, what will people think? That went on all the time in my thoughts.
Yeah, a pretty much perpetual
Yeah,
echoing in the head, if you will.
all
Okay.
the time. Yeah.
Now, just before we started recording, you and I talked about this, and you said to me something about, well, now that I'm talking about that, I haven't even had one of those thoughts
Yeah.
for a very long period of time. Did you say something like that to me?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. It was when we started talking that I thought, oh, no, I don't. The anxiety maybe pops up now and again, but I'm so aware of it that I think about the internal therapist and work with it, and it goes away. So that more than anything is a little bit of anxiety, but the rest, when we were talking, I thought, hang on, that doesn't happen now.
Okay. Just this is a technical matter. You said internal therapist. I think the term is unseen therapist.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So it doesn't happen. But how long has that been gone?
Look, it's hard to say because it's been such a gradual process, and I was working through it with Isabel that it's now I'm realising, talking to you, oh, it's not there. It's been a gradual process over a lot of weeks and a lot of hard work. Going to see Isabel regularly. It was every week, twice a week for a number of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was once a week. We were working very hard.
Okay. And so she does other things besides unseen therapists, but we're talking here about the extra value that unseen therapist has brought,
Yep. Absolutely, yep.
into the process. Okay. So in fact, the way Isabel says that you have become and live like a new person. Would that be accurate?
That would be very accurate. I feel very happy. I feel very confident in myself, and I'm really enjoying my life.
And prior to this, you were really kind of beset with all these other.
Yep.
There was even depression involved, I think, and things like that.
Just slight, nothing major with the depression, but that feeling of downness.
Yeah.
But I always felt like I was pulling a little trolley behind me. You know, I was down, pulling this trolley load of stuff.
Yes.
It's like I'm standing up and there's no weight or trolley behind me anymore.
All right. All right. Now, let's get to some physical things here. Among other things, you had some severe sinus issues. I mean, you were telling me off camera here that you had to have a couple of rounds of antibiotics every once in a while. It got very severe. Talk about that, would you?
Yeah, I get severe sinusitis, which I've had for a very long time, and I would have to go on to antibiotics, the strongest ones, 2 courses of those every 6 weeks, which you can imagine wasn't doing my insides much good at all. But it wouldn't clear, and it would just get worse, and it was very debilitating. And eventually my doctor said I went to a specialist, and he said that I had a mutation of a gene that was stopping me from getting better. And there was nothing he could do. Then my doctor said to me, I can't do any more for you. And that's when I went to see Isabel, because I thought, I've got to do something. I can't keep taking antibiotics. It was so bad that headaches, pain, infection, and my whole body was just feeling yuck.
Okay. So Isabel then brings in the unseen therapist. And how long did it take before you were beginning to see relief on these sinus issues?
Would have been a month easy, or 6 weeks, not long at all.
Okay, did you notice anything right at first, like the first session or anything? Or did it take longer than that before you finally began to get relief?
It took a couple of sessions. Yeah.
Okay.
It took a couple of sessions before, because it took a couple of sessions. We couldn't quite get to the base of it all. And one day when Isabel was doing the EFT, boom, we went right to the crux of the whole thing, and that's when it really started to.
Okay, so thank you. And so for those listening in, let me just teach a little bit here. I wasn't there, but I want to overlay a possibility here, and that is sometimes we can get right to these issues. Unseen therapist comes in and they just, in one session, a minute or two sometimes, and just gone. Other times it takes us longer. And generally speaking, I can't say for sure if this was exactly the case with you, but I'm speaking in general terms here. What we need to do is to find the real issues, the kind of issues that our system, we call it the guard at the gate, or our egos, or this kind of thing, is sort of hiding, and put it on the table so it's there and clear. And once we've got it on the table for unseen therapists to deal with, so it's not hidden someplace, then magic can happen. But am I saying that about the way it seemed to happen with you?
Exactly. Once the actual real crux of it, which seemed to be just deep down, boom, then it all just started to fly then.
Yeah, okay. And this is the difference sometimes between cases that take many, many sessions and cases that take a few minutes.
Yeah.
You know, that's not always the case, but that's something I really want to bring up here now. You also had a middle ear blockage. Talk about that, could you?
My ear was constantly blocked, painful. Even the antibiotics weren't clearing it. And Isabel did some ear candling to get rid of the junk, but there was still some blockage. But once we started working with the unseen therapist, that with the sinuses that cleared, and I don't have that now.
So the sinuses and the ear thing cleared like at the same time, closely?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. All right, now apparently there are still some stomach and digestive issues, but you really haven't worked with those much yet, correct?
No.
Okay.
Isabel wanted to work with the sinuses first, and next year we're going to work on those, on my tummy.
Well, this is now December, so next year is not that far away. Okay.
No.
Okay, and also at one point there, apparently, according to the email, there was low energy. You don't strike me as someone who has low energy.
Yeah. I did. I had been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome about 10 years ago, and so my energy levels, while I was improving with my chronic fatigue, the energy levels never got a lot better. But since I've been working with Isabel, I've got so much energy. It's great. And I can do things but not end up flat. I can manage it really well.
So say it to me this way if you can.
Yeah.
Before dealing with the unseen therapist, Isabel, and all that, your chronic fatigue syndrome was at a certain level.
Yes.
What
yes.
percent improvement would you say you now have in that?
80%.
Well, let me say it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
If 10 was the ultimate no energy problem at all, okay, what number did you start with and what number are you now?
I probably started at about a 4 and I'm up at an 8. Between 8 and 9 now.
8 and 9. Okay, great. All right. And was that a gradual process, or were you doing that and hit the right issue at one point and your energy just jumped up to new levels?
No, that was more of a gradual as we were working. It was gradually moving up. Yeah.
All right, great. Okay, well, Linda, anything else you want to mention while we're here?
Just that I think it's fantastic. I really do. I think it's absolutely wonderful.
All right, great.
Thanks, my life. Yeah.
All right. Lyndall, thank you so much. There's a lot of people who are really going to benefit by that, and I really want to honor you for taking the time and sharing your story.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right.